What is going on, everybody? I'm going to do an evening flight from Stafford Regional to Tangier Island, and we're going to do it from cold start. So we're going to start the aircraft up, get it running, and we're going to take a flight down to Tangier. We'll land there, and we may actually go just do touch and go, maybe at Tangier Island, and then fly somewhere into the Solomon, maybe Wallops. That's where the Space Center is. We'll probably fly to Crisfield Municipal after we do a touch and go landing at Tangier. So it's 77 nautical miles to Tangier, and then we'll take we'll do a touch and go here, then we'll take off and land at Crisfield. So there's Salisbury. We could also land in Salisbury or Patuxent. Well, St. Mary's is also over here somewhere. We could just come back over here and fly to St. Mary's. So there's West St. Mary's. And St. Mary's actually had a bigger airfield. There it is, St. Mary's County Regional Airport. I've actually been to Kennedy Space Center as well, Mild. It's the first place I've actually seen. First place I actually saw an alligator in the wild. Also, mountain lions in the wild. So, well, cougars down there in Florida. They don't call it mountain lions there because there's no mountains in Florida. But cougar. I saw a bunch of dead armadillos. And yeah. So go ahead and start flying. We'll get the G36 started up, and we're going to put some fuel in it because right now we don't have any fuel, I don't think, loaded into it. I didn't change the tail number either, so we'll have to use some prefab tail number. But how's everybody been doing? How is everyone's Tuesday? Hope it's fine. Hope it's good. Yeah, my grandmother worked at Kennedy Space Center, and we got to see some things that normal people don't get to do. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Mom. So it says it's foggy at KRMN, and I can tell you right now that is not true because it is no fog and very few clouds in the sky here currently. So that's where I'm flying the Beechcraft Bonanza. I have 4 favorite planes, and I'm ranking them from the TBM 930 to the G36 Bonanza, the Cessna 172, the 152, and the X-Cub. Not in any order, but those are the 5 aircraft that I currently love in this game. I have decided to go ahead and buy the Premium Deluxe Edition. I'll get that next Wednesday, and that'll give me 10 extra aircraft, which will add the Cirrus SR-22 GTS, the Cessna Citation Longitude with the G3000 cockpit, and a couple other planes in there that I'm looking forward to. So, and that's just for you guys, so we can fly more and more planes. And for the extra money, it's worth getting that and not getting the $30 freaking Cessna 182 from KRMN, because I don't think I'll buy any third-party aircraft. So I'm ready to fly. If you guys are ready to fly, you ready? Let's get going here. So a lot of people aren't going to do the cold start unless they're a simmer. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. Okay, first we need to look for the first thing we need to worry about is the fuel. So let's look and make sure we have the fuel turned on, and the fuel is right below our feet right here. And it looks like it's open to the left. Okay, that would turn the fuel off. Let's select this right fuel tank, and we're selecting the left fuel tank. Okay, so that's good. So we have our fuel open, and we're ready to go. Next, we need to go ahead and throw the mixture full rich. This does not have a fuel pump. And we're going to turn the battery on. Alternators are on. And we'll turn the avionics master on once we have the aircraft started. So let's go ahead and see if this damn thing will start. And she is fired right the hell up. How lucky are we for this? Okay, let's go ahead and turn our avionics master on. We'll go ahead and, well, we can't turn the AC on because it's inoperative, but we did do one thing wrong. We should have turned our strobe on at our beacon to let everybody know we were firing the engine up. So this poor dude right here didn't decide to go ahead and back up into the prop. Seem to have some low voltage, so have our nuts air test inoperable. And we'll go ahead and turn our nav lights on, pitot sheet does on, and why is our taxi lights over here? The taxi and landing lights are over here with the panel lights. That's so weird. What these work? Nope. So the air conditioner doesn't work. That's weird. That's cool, but whatever. We'll go ahead and lower our flaps to take off. And we're going to take off runway 15 this time, which is, we're going to have to taxi up that way. So let's go ahead and just get to it. Go ahead and throw the prop RPM to full. And I don't want to hit these guys with the prop, so they're going to have to do something. Anyways, release the parking brake, and we're just going to go forward. This dude's probably going to get hit by the damn wing. Whoa, calm down there. I forgot I had the parking brake already turned off. So different aircraft have different ways to steer them. This one has actually a nose wheel. Like the Cirrus is going to be interesting. The Cirrus SR22 doesn't have a steerable nose gear. The SR22, you steer it with your toe brakes. So you hit your brake on your left rudder pedal, you push that brake in to turn the aircraft left. You press the brake on the right hand side to turn the aircraft right. It's steered with the brakes. All your steering on the ground with the brakes. And a lot of tail draggers are like that too. You're steering with the brakes. We're going to taxi out here at runway 15. Take that as we fly out to the Tangier Island on this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday evening. It says 77 nautical miles. Shouldn't take us so long to get there. Maybe half an hour, if that. You had my grandfather on my mother's side was in World War II. He was at Okinawa, and then he was in China after the war. My grandfather on my father's side was in Korea, and he got captured at the Yalu River. Spent 3 years in a Chinese prisoner of war camp until he was released. He got 2 silver stars. My uncle was in Vietnam. My cousin was in the first Gulf War. Another cousin, my brother and I were in the Operation Iraqi Freedom, Operation Enduring Freedom. So yeah, we've all the military family. I have another uncle that served in the Navy. A couple cousins that served in the military. So what's going on, Kurt? Not out four-wheeling? On your little four-wheeler? So we're going to taxi out to fly Tangier. Tangier is one of the only places no wheeling for a couple weeks. Shoulder messed up. So Tangier Island was settled in the 1600s, and now now has one of the most peculiar dialects of English in the United States, because it's practically a dialect or an accent that has not changed, because all the people that live on Tangier Island were born there, and it's just an accent that has been handed down over the generations. Just gonna check and make sure nobody's on final this way. Make sure nobody's on final that way. All right, we're good. We'll taxi on out. Oh damn. Line up on runway 15 here. Looks like everything good to go. Mixture full rich. Prop RPM at max. Only thing we need is whole throttle. Alright, we're good to go. Roll and start here. And we are on our way. Tangier Island is an island that sustains itself fully from blue crabs and fishing. And it's a little island in the Chesapeake Bay. There we go. We're up. We have a positive rate. Gear's coming up. Once we get above 500 feet, we can go ahead and raise the flaps. See, our flaps are down. So flying runway heading. We're up over 500 feet. We're good enough to raise flaps. We're going to set a flying altitude of around 3,000 feet. Now let's make it 4,000. Autopilot is on. Set it to nav, vertical speed, and we'll just do up. And we'll just do up 4,000 feet. 500 feet a minute. So this is not what it looks like in Virginia right now. It's not overcast like this. Hopefully this updates by the time we get to Tangier, because it's going to be a nightmare trying to land at Tangier Island in this kind of things. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Beechcraft Bonanza here. I wish they had different liveries so we had different colored aircraft. Yeah, Kirk, this is amazing. I already uninstalled X-Plane 11 today. I was like, you had a good run, X-Plane, but you can't compete. You know what I mean? That's even after I spent all that money on aircraft. I've spent over $500 in aircraft on X-Plane 11, and then $70 for that map of Florida. And even that map of Florida doesn't compare to what this provides. So yeah, I decommissioned X-Plane 11. Flying right now. We're flying over the Virginia countryside down to Tangier Island. Then we'll touch and go there, and we'll fly up to probably St. Mary's, maybe Solomon. So when I want to fly low and fast, this is probably the aircraft I'll be flying. The Bonanza is just a rocket. Kind of like the Mooney. Maybe not as fast as the Mooney, but they don't have Moonies on here, so this is what I have to do. Thanks, Kurt. Yeah. Now I have now my monitor supports HDR10. Flight Simulator 2020 also supports HDR10. However, streaming HDR10 would probably just overexpose everything for you guys, so I can't stream with HDR10 on, but HDR10 does make it look a little bit better lighting wise. Yeah, so on tomorrow's stream, we'll be doing the landing challenges. So we'll start with the epic, well, not the epic ones. They have 3 different ones. So you have advanced, epic, and then the bad weather landings or high wind landings or something like that. So we'll be doing those, and it gives you a grade on them and everything like that. So if you watched Rudy's stream earlier, he flew down the Potomac River here to this peninsula over here, which is where Dahlgren Naval Surface Warfare Center is. Then down to Colonial Beach over here. We're not going that route. This, pretty sure, is the Rappahannock River below me, which is the river that I live on, further west, up that way. As soon as we get up to 4,000 feet, we go ahead and pull our RPM back, we can pull our mixture back and maintain fuel. It's funny that none of these aircraft have any kind of fuel monitoring system or advanced engine monitoring systems, so we really can't get into the meat and gravy of maintaining your engine and your fuel flow and your cylinder head temperatures and everything like that. We just can't get that in depth. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can see this is blinking red here. We're climbing. Once we get to 4,000 feet, I'll go ahead and pull the RPMs back on the prop. We'll keep our manifold pressure at 26 pounds. But unfortunately, on this aircraft, the most, like sometimes they have an engine management button down here that you can go more in depth with your cylinder head temperatures for your fuel flow and running lean a peak and everything like that. But none of these aircraft on here have that option. So, I mean, it's something cool to do, and it's extremely helpful to know. Most simmers will do it, and all aircraft pilots will do it. They'll run. The whole big thing now is to run lean a peak. So lean a peak you would max out your cylinder head temperatures and then bring your you'll pull your mixture back into your cylinder head temperature peaks at a high temperature, and as you pull it back, it'll peak and then it'll start coming down. So just as it starts coming down is where you want to set your fuel flow, your mixture. So we're almost at 4,000 feet right now, so we can go ahead and bring the prop back. We're going to bring it probably back to about 2,500. So there we are at 2,500 RPM. We'll leave our leave our manifold pressure at 26. Manifold pressure is controlled by your throttle. RPM is controlled by the RPM control, the prop RPM control, and mixture, fuel flow, cylinder head temperature is all controlled by the mixture. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull the mixture back, and you'll watch the cylinder head temperature rise as I pull the mixture control back, because not enough fuel coming into the cylinder head to cool the cylinder head. So watch that cylinder head temperature go up as I'm not even flying. Hold on, I'm not even flying. There we go. So this whole time I didn't have this set to GPS, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't even notice it. So we'll go ahead and pull the mixture back, and you'll watch the cylinder head temperature go up, which is right here. So as we pull it back, cylinder head temperature is going to go up, and now it's coming down. And you can watch our fuel flow gallons per hour will also come down. So we're going to leave the mixture control about 75. And so this is your standard view. If I press left on the hat switch, it looks over the left wing. I press right on the hat switch, it looks over the right wing. I press up on the hat switch, it gives me a little bit more zoomed in view over the cockpit panel. If I press down once, it takes me back to the normal view. Down one more, it kind of looks at the pilot's flight display. Down one more, it looks even closer to the pilot's flight display. If I press right from here, it looks at the multifunction display. Press down, it goes back, and then that's it. So press the lower right, takes us to the fuse boxes. Look back over here at these fuses. Look down here at the fuel tank. Look at the rudder pedals and the lower panel. Look over here. Back up there. That's about it. So that's all the views that are kind of built in with the flight stick, or actually for this, actually the flight stick. So if you've never seen it before, this is what I use. It's the T-Flight HOTAS X. I've used it since 2014, so 6 years now, and it's still running strong. It works for both the PS3 and the PC. So that's what I've used. That's what I've used to fly X-Plane, Flight Simulator 10, X-Plane 9, X-Plane 10, X-Plane 11, L2 1946. All those flight sims I've used this to fly with. A little bit of DCS that I use this, but I found DCS a little too complicated to play, if you know what I mean. Yeah, see, I had the X52 Cytec. I had the X52 flight stick, throttle, and rudder pedals, and I just didn't like them. So I like simple, you know, simple. Now I have thought about getting a. Now if they had a flight like a yoke, they do have a yoke. All right, the yoke has force feedback. So the yoke has force feedback. So when you pull up, you can actually feel the pressure of the ailerons when you pull back on the. But it's like, I think it's like $1,500 for that yoke. You know, it's motorized, so it actually has some. You have some force on the. You know, just the airflow. You can feel the airflow over the ailerons. I'll send you in Discord the yoke that I'm talking about. But I don't think anything has that force feedback like that yoke does. I mean, just to be able to feel the force from the air is pretty epic. So we're going to fly up here. We're going to intersect this magenta line, and we'll make a right-hand turn. Now, what I want to know, and I've never noticed it before, usually, it's modeled great on X-Plane 11, especially with the TBM 900. So you'll get a countdown here when you get close to when you're going to make a turn, like on a waypoint. You'll get a countdown, and I'll tell you what to turn. So turn to course 180 in 10 seconds, and I'll give you a countdown. I want to see if it does it here. It's probably not going to do it because we're not actually flying to a waypoint. We're just intersecting the plotted course from Stafford to Tangier Island. So there's Colonial Beach down below us with Monroe Harbor here. Rudy flew over this earlier today. So we'll go ahead and make our right-hand turn and get back on track towards Tangier Island. And we'll be there in about 20 minutes. See, even leaned out, we have it leaned out, we're running, 75% on the mixture. Oh, sorry. 75% on the mixture, props back at 93%, so we're running 26 pounds of manifold pressure. 2510, we can probably pull that back to 2500 on RPMs. We're still flying 144 knots with a ground, true airspeed of 154. Ground speed is 155 knots. So let's go ahead and look at the pilot flight display over here. Now we have several different options. Like we're going to bring the wind up, and we're going to do option 3. So we have a 3-knot wind coming across from our right wing. Go ahead and hit back, and back again. We'll just start a transponder, and we'll just turn it on. Right? It wasn't on, but it's on now. So we should have turned that on before we took off, but yeah. We're just doing something casual here. I didn't change the tail number. I should have, but dude, I've been flying flight simulators forever, dude. So it's just, I have problems with some aircraft, but I can figure most. Like I don't do airliners because they're too complex and they're kind of boring for me to fly. I like the VFR stuff, especially with Flight Simulator 2020, because I mean, look at this. Why do you want to fly at 35,000 feet and miss all this? I mean, look at all this. Look at what you're missing flying at 30,000 feet. You know what I mean? So yeah, I am running at Ultra. We can look at the settings if you want to. If you don't believe me, we'll take a look at the settings, and we'll go to graphics. See, HDR 10 is turned off, and you can see, well, it says custom because I was running HDR 10. So let's do Ultra. It was on Ultra anyways. We'll apply it and save it. The only reason it was on custom is because I had been running HDR 10 before I started streaming. So there it is. It's on Ultra. It's still smooth as all hell. So if you need to see the PC specs are in the description. I like the Bonanza because it's got the one little landing light right there under the prop. So I never knew about these little barrier islands like this on the Potomac. Where is this? And it's kind of like got this little barrier island thing. So we're officially in brackish water here. That kind of looks like Cobb Island right there. Couldn't really tell you. Because I don't really know. Whitehall Farm. I like how these little POIs show up. I just wish there were more POIs. You know, when you're in DC and stuff like that, you see the regular POIs, you see the Pentagon, and you see the White House, the Capitol, and stuff like that. We have an aircraft up there. I don't know if it's a player aircraft or not. It would probably show up if it was a player aircraft. Totally forgot what I was talking about before I saw that plane. And I took X-Plane off, and I still have 1.17 terabytes left on my NVMe drive, my M.2 drive. If you're going to get an M.2 drive, I highly recommend the Sabrent. I have the Sabrent Rocket NVMe drive. This thing is amazing. I get read-write speeds of 3,500 megabytes per second. So 3.5 gigs per second is the read-write speed on my NVMe drive. Currently, my NVMe drive is occupying the PCI 4.0 Express slot on my X570 motherboard, even though it's not a PC, even though it's not Gen 4. But I put it there to get it out from underneath the 2080 Super. Because I'm just trying to, cool my system down a little bit better. But I do want to get another NVMe M.2 drive. And I'm actually kind of interested to see. Let's go ahead and look and see here. Let's go to Task Manager here. Let's go to Performance. Right click here. View. CPU. So we have all 8 cores, 16 threads here. See, I'm using 15 gigs of RAM. Now this sim will run, it will use all the memory you can give it. So it's using 15 gigs of RAM right now. Using 44% of the 3700X. You see we're running at 4.2 gigahertz, which I haven't overclocked it. That's where it runs. That's its boost speed. Yeah, and the GPU's running at 93%. 72 Celsius, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's running pretty decent. I'm glad to see it's using all the cores, Shabak. Yeah, if you're going to spend money, don't spend money on mechanical hard drives anymore. The price of an SSD has come down, and the performance you get from an SSD just crushes a mechanical hard drive. Mechanical hard drive, I don't have a mechanical hard drive at all on my PC. I have an SSD, a 250 gig SSD I'll use for my Linux install, which I have an installation of Pop! OS on there. And then my 2 terabyte one is just for Windows. And I have no mechanical hard drive at all. I have them laying around my house, but I just don't use them. You got some players back there. Somebody's in a Cessna 172, another in a Day 62. We're flying on down the Potomac here. St. Mary's would be right back up here somewhere. Somebody's down there in a DR40. Wow. I was in a Baron, not a Beach Baron, but a King Air. Lead Singer. Back inside and see much longer we have. Tangier is practically over on the eastern shore, but it's off the eastern shore and it's an island. So we have about 10 minutes to go till we get there. Yeah, I read up on everything, Mikey, before I decide. It takes me, I might read up on something for like a month before I decide if I'm going to buy it or not. You know, because it's a huge investment. Like, I'm torn now whether I want to purchase a Trek Domani AL3, which is it's a lightweight aluminum road bike, and it only weighs about 20 pounds. So, thinking about getting one of those. It's about almost $1,100. Yeah, I know, Kurt. I'm the same way. I research everything, and I do exhaustive research on everything. Like, I could have saved so much money buying the RX 5700. I mean, the RX 5700 XT instead of getting the 2080 Super. And I thought, it's like, should I spend the extra money for the 2080 Super? And I did. Sometimes I regret it because I could run Hackintosh with the 5700 XT, and but yeah, I may make an update to this thing. I might update it to the 3950 or the 3900. Jubilee over there. I'm still just running one monitor, dude. Can you believe that? Still using just this LG UltraGear 27-inch monitor. I thought about getting BenQ makes a 27-inch 2K monitor. I'd also thought about getting one of those. I still may get one. But so my LG monitor, so it has elevation and it has spin, so you can actually turn it. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, see, I don't have a space on my desk for another monitor. I'm probably going to have to put it on a VESA mount, so I have a dual VESA mount and just have a desk attachment for that. Yeah, I don't have enough desk space for two monitors. I'll have to put on a VESA mount. And I can't, I have an LG, so it's an IPS panel, and I've always loved LG's IPS panels, even their TVs. I just love the color rendition. Somebody's in a Boeing 748 over there. Well, they only at 1,865 feet, though. Are these guys chasing me back here, or what? Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to do the secondary monitor as portrait. And this monitor will go to portrait that I have here. But the BenQ will not. So now we're over the Chesapeake Bay. They actually have a lighthouse. I forgot what it's called, which lighthouse it was, but they have a lighthouse on the Chesapeake Bay. It's actually 3 miles offshore in the bay for sale for $250,000. Can you guys believe that? $250,000 for a lighthouse. The lighthouse has 3 bedrooms and 1 bath. It needs to be totally remodeled, but it's a caisson style lighthouse, and it sits right in the middle of the, it's a caisson that's built into the bottom of the Chesapeake Bay, so it's like a big tower that comes right out of the water, then comes and spreads out to like a little lighthouse. The Tangier Island's right there. So we're going to go ahead and go back inside. You see Tangier Island's there. You can see it's there. We're going to fly over because I don't think you have a approach for this. So we'll fly over it and we will land. And we're just going to do a touch and go. As we get closer, we'll go ahead and fly a little lower, let you guys get a good look at Tangier Island. It's one of the islands that are disappearing because of sea level rise. So the people of Tangier are eventually going to have to move because the whole town is going to be underwater. You can take a ferry here. I think the ferry ride's like 2 hours or something like that. We're going to go ahead and disengage the autopilot, and we'll go ahead and bring back the power. And by bringing back the power, we will descend. Most streamers, you'll see them just point the nose straight, point the nose down, and they'll be like, "Oh, look, we're going down." That's not how you do it. It's not how you do it. You just pull the throttle back, and the aircraft itself will naturally start to descend. So pull the power back to 17 pounds of pressure, pounds. Go ahead and throw the mixture full forward, throw prop full forward. So when we go to pull out, we're gonna land anyways. So we're gonna make a low pass over Tangier Island, then we'll swing back around, do a touch and go, and then we'll head up probably to Solomon. I don't know yet. I love how the synthetic vision on the pilot's flight display actually works. The only aircraft that it worked for on X-Plane was the Hot Start TBM 900 that I paid $70 for that third-party aircraft. I don't like flying in third person, but we'll do an external flyby. Okay. So you guys get a little bit more feel for it. Just need to watch my altitude here. I'm really excited to get the premium edition. Like I was telling Mikey earlier, there's something about flying the old aircraft with the gauges, no glass cockpit, nothing like that. Just flying on instruments, just really flying on the instruments. So setting a nav, running the VORs, stuff like that. I love doing that because that's a challenge. That's something that people don't do. What's up, Danny? Oh, 7. What's that? Because there's the little island of Tangier. We're doing a stop and go there. And it's a good thing I'm doing a flyover because I could not remember for the life of me. Oh, what's going on, Danny? Salute. Salute. Because I, for the life of me, cannot remember how this runway runs. Okay, there it is. This is much lower than you would typically fly in a G36. You could do this in the Icon A5, but iRacing? What's iRacing? Look at the sun setting over the Chesapeake. Imagine what that would look like with the HDR on. Back in 2010, I think it was, the angle of attack indicator became standard. We became required on all aircraft. They had to have an angle of attack indicator. So if you see right now, this right here is the best lift. So you see that little blue circle? That's the best amount of lift in this aircraft right now at this speed and at this altitude and at this bank. So that's always the angle of attack indicator is what naval aviators use to land. That's all they use. Okay, I'm going to fly out, I'm going to loop back, and we're going to land. But to do this, I'm going to go back into the cockpit view because I'm not a person that flies and lands in third person. I just can't do it. I'm not used to it. We need to get back up over 1,000 feet. There's a guy up there in a Grand Caravan, Cessna 208. Guy up there in an A20, the Airbus 320N. I don't know what this Phoenix dude is doing. We'll go ahead and we'll make our turn here. Come back into Tangier. Just giving a little bit of back pressure on the stick. Help us turn a little sharper. Okay, we did not go far enough, but try to get turned over here. We didn't go far enough. I'm not going to risk a landing like this, so we'll fly out a little bit further. I prefer at least 3 miles. 3 to 5 miles. I've got time to set my aircraft up, you know. Yeah, I saw him. Okay, we're going to go ahead and make our turn now. And let's turn right. Let's make a right-hand turn. And, it's way over a 45-degree bank. So that end line right there on the PFD is a 45-degree bank. I'm quite happy with that. So we are now going to lower the gear. Lower 1 notch of flaps. Still way low. Should be this low at all right here in this part. Bad thing is if you can't see the runway, you can't see where you're going to land, so we need to be up. That's my problem right now, so we can't see the runway. There we go. Alright, we're down, no bounce. Throttle back up. Hopefully we got enough runway. We don't want to pull a Rudy. Alright, there's the end of the runway, and we are up. Up and away. Gear up. Flaps up. We will sync the heading to our current heading. We'll set the autopilot to heading and vertical speed to up. As we now are just flying heading with the autopilot. And good to go. Now we're going to find somewhere else to land. So let's look here. Let's hit V, bring up our map here. These are all in Maryland here. That's Wallops Island right there. We will fly to let's land here. Let's go to Whiskey 41. Whiskey 41. So let's go to this here. We will say direct to. We'll go ahead and select Whiskey 41. Whiskey. One. That's Crisfield Municipal Airport, Crisfield, Maryland. Enter. Activate. And now we can switch it back to nav. And there we go. Let's go ahead and let's pull up air nav, and we will pull up Whiskey 41. So this is the information. So I'll pull the information from here, and I'll go down here and I'll pull these approach plates. So it does have RNAV landing, instrument approaches, so IAPS, that's instrument approach procedures. So we'll download this and see what it says. This is Whiskey 41 instrument approach, RNAV. It doesn't say which runway, so it's not going to be. We're not going to be able to set it into the what you call it. Looks like it's runway 32. It is 32. Minimums. They doesn't have any minimums. Okay, so I use these. These are the approach plates. So we'll go back in here. We'll be there in about 2 minutes. And then we'll take requests. We'll do a request session we'll do one request, flight request, so y'all figure out where we're going to go. So let's go see if there's a procedure for that. Select approach, enter There is no approach for where that. Okay. That's procedure out that, procedure that. So let's look up here and oh, stop it. Turn the autopilot off. We'll fly by hand here. Okay, so somehow the trim has all got messed up. There's the airport. See, the trim is messed up. So let's go down here and look at the trim. Trim is pitched to nose up. Sometimes the autopilot doesn't reset your trim. You say reset trim. There's Chrisfield Municipal. We're going to do a flyby. Just to, I need to put the freaking, find a button to adjust the damn thing. There we go. Now we got it neutral. We got it neutral. Let's look at this airport here. Looks like it has a grass strip too. So that looks like a grass strip right there. Or a helicopter pad or something. And then it has a paved pad right there. So it's got a paved strip there and a grass strip. We could have landed on the grass strip easy. It's probably a good idea to use that for trim. So we're going to power up here. I'm going to make a right hand turn and come back and land at Chrisfield. Then we'll do one more flight. So somebody pick an airport, we'll take off from there and we'll go from there. Oh, what would be fun in the rain? We could set the weather to rain. I mean, if you want it to rain. Okay, we probably haven't gone far enough to make a safe landing here, but we'll see. We're good enough. Flaps down, gear down. Throttle back. Ah, we almost landed off the runway. We'll land on it. That landing sucked, but oh well. That's the problem when you make those short turns. You know, those high bank turns onto these runways, these real tight short. So you're short and final, you're turning real tight onto it. Sometimes you're going to lose a lot. Either you're going to be way too high, or you're going to be way too low on the runway. So we landed, we didn't crash. We didn't stretch the airframe or anything like that. So we're still good to go. Taxi off on that. There's a dirt taxiway. No, it's not dirt taxiway. It's dirt. Okay, somebody give me an airport. What do you want to fly from? Anywhere in the world. CMX. So we're flying from KCMX, I'm assuming. KCMX. Hoyton Memorial. We're just going to take off from there. We're going to take the fly to Pictured Rocks, he says. Select arrival airport. Pictured Rocks isn't even on here. Do you have a KOK for that? I don't even know where. I mean, I could do it. I just don't know where Pictured Rocks is. How far is it, do you think? Is it an airport? Okay, so it's a location. I have no idea where it's at. But we can take off and you can try a directory where to go. Oh, I didn't want to fly this. I wanted to fly the X-Cub. I'll have to restart. Sorry about that, you know. And we're gonna exit out here real quick because I picked the wrong aircraft. We're gonna use the we will be using the X-Cub. Or we could use the Icon. We'll use the X-Cub. I like the Icon because you can land in the water with it. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a tail number. November 1665. And now we'll fly. I said my favorite aircrafts are the X-Cub, the Cessna 172, the 152, TM930, and G36. Oh, it's not going to show that. Oh, we can fly there. Pretty much know where it's at. So this is the area here. It's on South Bay. Ready to fly? Let's look at the map here. Pull the map. Map. So we are here. We're gonna have to fly to, I believe it's here. Does it look right to you guys? No, maybe it's here. Let's look, because we might have to take off from this airport. Let's look back here. Yeah, so we'll take off from, that's Sawyer Air Force Base. We'll take off from Sawyer. Let's change this. K-Saw. So we'll do this again. Okay, let's go back to K-Saw here. Sawyer International, Marquette, and let's fly. Yeah, because I don't do the whole PayPal thing. I probably would, but PayPal's sketchy sometimes. I'm thinking about just doing a Patreon page and just let people just, or what's not Patreon? What's the other one? Have that one too. I forgot what it's called. Okay, here's K-Saw.
Crafters November 1665 ready for straight out departure at runway 19er.
Okay, we're gonna
cleared for takeoff runway 19er Cub Crafters 665.
Okay, let's go ahead and acknowledge clearance. Clear for takeoff. We are cleared for takeoff, runway 19. Go release the brake. We'll go ahead and hit flaps full. So our flaps handles in this thing. So this is the Cub X Cub is just a Cub, but it's carbon. And it has a glass cockpit, which is awesome. So here's the flap control. So you have 3 different levers. Take out 16 degrees, 32 degrees, and 46 degrees. Hey, thanks a lot, Kurt. Up here is our fuel, so that tells you the fuel on the left side. This over here tells you the fuel on the right side. So you got this little bubble. I forgot what they call them. Little glass indicators. So you have 15 gallons of fuel in each one. So we have a back seat. Wish we could go back there. But so there's a back seat back there, and it actually has flight controls as well. So you see here, there's the throttle and mixture, I believe, or prop pitch. I can't remember which one. Throttle and RPM. Yeah, so throttle and then the propeller RPM. So you have controls in the rear as well for the person back here, in case you want to make the person up front puke. These open the doors, stuff like that. But I don't even think you can do that on here. So yeah, so that's all there is to it. There's a compass up there. It's a really simple aircraft, and we are just going to go ahead and take off because I think I have it. I do believe I have the parking brake off. Will be good. So we have full flaps. We're going to power straight up, and we're going to kind of lean the nose forward. As soon as so you see now I'm pushing forward on the stick to get the nose forward. That's going to let us build some speed faster. And as soon as we get to 50 knots right here, we can pull up, and we're off the ground already. About 200 feet, and slowly ease off the flaps. Flaps are full, out, fully retracted, and now we can go to the problem is now I gotta find it where I'm at so I can know where I'm going. There's Saw. So I need to go northeast, right? And here we go. We could turn to the northeast. We're going to do a left-hand turn here. Yep, it's way cool, Kurt. go ahead and turn the autopilot on. We'll sync heading to current heading. Synchronize the current altitude, and we will altitude hold. There we go. Kind of foggy. A little foggy out. Now it's frequency change. Okay, it's clearing up. Awesome. So this is the X Cub. If I was going to buy an aircraft, this would be the only aircraft I would buy. Is the X Cub. See, there's Kurt in the back seat. What up, Kurt? See him back there? But I am totally not a chick. I just want y'all to know that. You know what I mean? Okay, we're going to get into the internal and turn more to the east, I would say. So to do this, we need to go ahead and turn this for heading. Thing is, we're not flying heading. There you go. Okay, so we just flipped it to heading. And we're going to make a turn to the east. We are on autopilot, so the plane's flying for us. Yeah, I can't wait for you to play this, Kurt, because I want you to play it with us. Kurt never plays games with us, but we're gonna get Kurt to play this game with us. We were flying all over the backwoods of Michigan. Through this soup and everything else. Let's go ahead and pull the RPMs back a little bit, shall we? Let's get the prop back to about 75% on RPM. Yeah, you don't have to be in a group. Like Nima was complaining because she couldn't get in a group. You don't have to be in a group. Everybody just has to start off at the same runway, and we'll all see each other. So let's go up here in external. Okay, we'll go up here and hit the coastline, and we'll follow the coastline up. We're going to cut right across this peninsula here, and then this pictured rock should be over here somewhere. Yeah, I'm going to get the premium deluxe version of the game as well, Kurt. It's actually not $120. It's actually only $89 if you upgrade on the Xbox game on the Microsoft Store. If you do it from inside the game itself, I'll show you after we see the pictured rocks and find somewhere to land. Let's go back into the cockpit view so we can turn our heading bug to 090. And we're turning the heading bug to, thought it would be 090. Nope, there it is right there, 090. Okay, so picture rocks is going to be over here to the right a little bit. So let's go ahead and say 095. It's a little bumpy up here. Oh, Kurt's not back in the back seat puking. So let's see what kind of. So these are all the views that are built into it. What is it down? Is that a pump? What is this? I don't know what that is. Yeah, see, an X-plane you could actually move to the back seat. You couldn't fly it from back there, but you could move back there. Alright, back to external. What road is this, Edgar? This road right here goes down by the lake. Who do you say they need to integrate fishing on every game? Hunter, Call of the Wild needs fishing. Man, I can land on the beach. It's not a problem. This plane. Hold on. Where does what's it call it take place? Snow, not snow tires, but the other one. What's snow tires? Is it snow tires? What is it? What is it? Anyways, where does that take place at? Is that a fictional part of Michigan, or that's something Rudy could do? Kirk could fly. Rudy could fly the location and snow spin tires or whatever it is. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so it should be right around here. Let's double check. Okay, so we're right here on the edge, right here in South Bay. We are where? Looks like we're on a straight course for it. It's right just south of this little peninsula right here, which we do see here. So as we get closer, we'll adjust. There's got to be a backwood strip back here somewhere. You know there has to be. Rudy, find it. Find us a backwood strip up here somewhere. Actually, you could probably do that while waiting. Let's do it. I cannot believe Grand Island does not have an airport on it. Christmas? Look, they have a town called Christmas. Where the hell are we at? I'll find us a damn airport. Where are we at? We got time. Where the hell are we at on here? Oh, on that part of Michigan. A 5-minute airport to land in. This is where we're going. This is where we're at. We're passing Laughing Fish Point. We're looking for a runway. Anything. A private strip. Got some sand dunes. Oh, there's a lighthouse? You didn't tell me there's a lighthouse. There's a private, looks like a private runway here. There's a private runway here too. Grand Maria's. Whiskey, Yankee 98. It's possible. This one has a beacon, so there is a runway here. Hanley. So as we hear, as soon as we get to Muncie and see the picture where we were going to go see, we'll turn south and see if we can find this private field here called Hanley. If in case you want to know what the URL of that's vfrmap.com. So just remember that, vfrmap.com. It's extremely useful to have, especially for me. I do a lot of, like, I love to fly VOR, which is the old, just flying pure instruments, pure gauges, you know, the nav radios, the VORs, everything like that. So there's 5Y7 right there. That's that crash strip we were just looking at. So we'll fly to here, fly down the coast right here to look at those little rocks, and then we'll fly in here and land. Rock's gonna be right over here somewhere. I think that's the one I saw. Was that really? Is that the one I looked up right here? Yeah, it's Hanley. 5Y7. That's the one we're gonna fly to. That one right there. That don't matter, Kurt. I love flying. I love Sims. And especially one that looks as good as this one does. I mean, look at the freaking clouds. Just a little fog base. They would look so fake in the X-Plane. You know what I mean? There's Christmas. There's a little town of Christmas over there. I don't see no rocks over there, Kurt. It's gotta be right there. Let's go take a closer look. Shall we? Go ahead and turn the autopilot off. Whoa, baby. Trim down 5 degrees. Let's go look at this rock thing over here. Go to external. Alright, we're gonna go look, Kurt. I'm not saying you're lying. We're gonna go look though. Oh, that sucks, Mikey. What's the minimum AMD for this? Somebody look it up. Well, look, it's super salty. What's this right here in front of us? Are these the cliffs right here? Or is that just a house? That looks like a house. That's somebody's house. Oh, maybe not. I don't know. I think that's what you're talking about. It's kind of dark. I don't know why it's so dark in the stream. Wish I could brighten it up. But it's not that dark on my screen. I'm sorry, Kurt. You probably couldn't see it. Okay, there's Hanley's strip right there. I can see the beacon. So, let's escape this real quick. So, just so you guys know. Okay, so you see this. This is a field here, right? So, the difference between this field and this field here is, so you see Grand Maria up here, Yankee 98. The difference between that field and this field has a beacon. You can tell it has a beacon because it has a star above it. So if you ever see a star on any airfield on a VFR map, you know that it has a beacon. So just remember that. It helps you. That's how I saw the airfield. I saw the beacon first. So, and you can see the beacon is right there. So, see it right here, beacon. And now it's telling me Hanley Field. So even without this telling me the Hanley Field is here, I knew there's an airfield here because of the beacon. And it looks like it actually has lights. It's you see, these are things that people like Raptor and Colt, they're not going to know this stuff. They don't ever sim. They just play games. You know, they're not. You know, they don't know what all the things on a VFR map mean. Let's get some flaps in here. Just don't slow down too bad. We don't want to go into a spin because I don't think we'll spin. Because I think this thing has auto rudders on. There's the field. We'll land on some grass strip, boys. We got full flaps, 46 degrees. Coming in for a steep land, but that's okay. We're gonna land 2-point landing. We're gonna land just the front 2 gears, and we'll put the tail down. We are on a tail dragger. A little bit of a bounce there, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to throttle back, and as we slow down, we're going to pull the tail back. Just let the tail. We don't want to put a lot of pressure on that tail wheel, and we're not going to put the brakes on because we'll nose over. So you need to doing this S-turn stuff like this is normal. If you S-turn like this in a tail dragger, it's normal because there's no way. I mean, look, we can't see over the nose, so in order to see, you will always see tail draggers doing this number. They'll drag their tail and they'll look left, look right, look left, look right with the tails. So they'll steer that way. So they actually can see to the left and the right. Make sure they're centered up. Alright, so let's go over some more things that people should know. Okay, we should hit the brakes here. I always fly with these VFR map things up because I can see where I'm going, and it lets me know. You know, they have VFR maps even just for the United States, really. I don't think, yeah, they have it for parts of Europe. Well, you know, the VFR map is only for the United States. Yeah, they have some great ones. So this is all upstate Michigan. So you have your different airspaces. You have Class D airspace, which is right here. Then you have VORs here. I'll do a whole section on flying VORs. I'll probably do it tomorrow. And like this is a Sault Ste. Marie VOR station here, and you can see right here it's 112.2 on the nav radio, and VORs use Morse code to identify them. So it'd be ... is the identifying Morse code for Sault Ste. Marie's VOR station. From a VOR station, we could plot a course. So if I was flying from, say I took off from this airfield, Newberry, and I wanted to fly to, let's say, Elliott Lake, this airfield here. Okay, I would tell my aircraft I would fly to, you just take a piece of paper. So you take a piece of paper, even on your screen, and you can take it, and you can zoom it in until you can see this airfield here. You take that piece of paper and you make a line from there to here, and you get the rough bearing. And then you would take the nav radio and you put that bearing in. See this? Say this bearing is like from here to here is this is 2.7 here. That would make that 2.6. That would make that 2.5. That makes that 2.4. So from here to here, let's say it's 2.5. So you want to hit a. So you fly east until you hit the 250 radial. Once you hit the 250 radial, you would turn to a course of 250. And you fly towards this VOR station until you hit the 095 radial, which is right here, which is actually an airway. The airway is Victor 316. And you take that airway straight in to this airfield. Actually, you take it straight to this VOR here, which you would take to this airfield. So there's a lot to it. I mean, there's a lot to VFR flying, and that's just instrumentation. That's just, you know, no glass cockpit, all gauges. So you'd have your VOR, you'd set your nav radio, you'd set your VOR, and you just fly the VOR stations. So, and you can do it with the glass cockpits too. But and I'll show you. I'll give you an example. Well, I'm not going to fly it, but I'll show you exactly what I'm saying. It's going to mean, you know, we can do it in the 152. We're not going to fly it or anything. We'll just look at the gauges. So we'll go somewhere west where it's still sunny and we can actually see something in the cockpit. So let's go to this will be fun. So let's go to Jackson Hole, and we will use the 152. This is the biggest reason I want the Premium Deluxe Edition, because I get the 172 without the glass cockpit as well. So let's just fly from here. We're not going to fly it or anything like that. I'm just going to show you how it will work actually in the aircraft. So let's, while this is loading up, let's go back into here and we'll go to Jackson Hole. I gotta remember where the hell it's at. Okay, it's West Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City's there. K-Jack is up here. Yell if you see it. There it is right there. K-Jack. Hopefully there's nobody flying out here right now. Okay, nobody's here right now. Okay, so let's tap out right here real quick, and we will go to here because this has its own VOR. So Jackson Hole has its own VOR station, and we will tune to that. That's 115.4. So 115.4, and so this is the nav radio. These are your two comm radios. These are your two nav radios, which makes this aircraft IFR compatible. So you can actually fly an instrument approach with this plane. We want 115.4, right? So you saw this. So if we switch this back, okay, this is not in range. This 110.5, that VOR station is not in range of this aircraft, so it doesn't show anything here. This is your nav 1. I forgot what they call them. Anyways, this is nav 1. This is nav 2. So we flip it, and now it shows us. Okay, so it tells us we're going to be from here. We'll fly to that VOR, and it's to our right. Okay, and if we wanted to select a radio, say from here, we wanted to take a 281 and land at Driggs Reed Memorial Airport right here. So we take the 281 radio off of the VOR, Jackson VOR, And to do that, we would go over here. We'd look over here like so. We'd find 280, which is this one right here, because this would be 290. This is 30. So we'd take this and we take this and rotate this clockwise until we got to 280. Now we would fly south until we got, and this would stop. This would start moving to the left. And as it moves to the left, we need to make that turn to 280, because we're not actually flying 280. This is telling us where that radial is. So we want to fly on our compass to 280 once we get closer, and it's going to peg this line right in here. So that's how you fly VOR. Coincidentally, it's also the same way you fly ILS in these old aircraft like this. So if you would tune to see if it has an ILS frequency here. I don't see one. Okay, so this tells us everything about Jackson Hole right here. It tells us our CTAF frequency, which is the frequency we use to talk to other planes here, is 118075. The ATIS frequency is a 120.625. So that's what that tells us. But yeah, we can. Where we at? Now we did fly north to hit the 281 radio, so we will. Let's attempt it. We're just going to attempt it real quick. What's our heading now? Our heading should be south. Yeah, so we're just going to take off, turn around, and try to hit that 281 radio so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Just give you a quick introduction to flying VOR. And up until we had glass cockpits, GPS is how everybody flew. Airspeed's live. This is 50 knots. 55, 60, we can go. And we're up. We're going to stay on runway heading for right now. So I wish we could hear it. You know what I mean? Wish we could hit this and actually hear. We can hear it. Can you guys hear it? Let me turn the engine noises down some. Let's hit this escape. And we'll go to general. We'll go to sound. And we'll go to we'll turn the aircraft engines down for right now. So we'll apply and save. We'll go back and resume. Alright, can you guys hear that? You should hear something that sounds like Morse code. That's the nav beacon from the VOR. That's the VOR station's code. So you have that, you know you're tied, you know audibly that you have the VOR station. Okay, so we're going to bank this thing over. I'm going to turn north. We'll make a 45-degree bank here. Put back on stick a little bit. I'm going to turn north.
Outliner 1839er cleared for takeoff runway 19er.
Okay, so now you've heard that. Now we might have a problem because I don't know if this plane will get up over those mountains. We will fly. We will find out though, because we are already at 7,000 feet, 7,900 feet is our altitude here. Okay, so you can still hear our nav beacon, and now we're flying towards. You can see it right here. We're flying towards the VOR. This is a little tag, and it actually says 2 on it. 2. So once we pass the VOR station, it will say from. So right now we're just flying around looking for that VOR. And I actually like it better without the engine sounds. What do you guys think? Alright, we've just passed the VOR station. There we go. Alright, it flipped. So the bad part about this is that the VOR station is so close. It's probably not the best example to use. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Here we go. Back. Okay, so you see how the thing's turning? Now we're going to fly about 300 and get the line back up. There we go. And we're so close to the VR station, it's going to be really touchy. So let's go like that. Okay, now we're flying roughly the 280 radio out of Jackson Hole to this Memorial Airport, wherever the hell it was. I can't remember the name of it. But I don't think this thing's going to have enough cojones to get up over these mountains. We'll see. But I'm not, I'm not expecting it to. We're going to make a left-hand turn here and try to get lined back up on that VOR. So ILS is the same way. This is exactly how we would do ILS, like I said. With just the old steam gauges. I call them steam gauges. I think that's what everybody else calls them too. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have enough ass to get over these mountains. We could probably go up this valley right here, though. I like the valley to the left looks a little more. I don't know. Oh, it's bumpy. You can feel the wind shear coming off the mountains. Oh, did you hear it? Yeah, here I go. Clank. Yeah, I don't think this thing has enough cojones to get up over this mountain right here. Look, I'm already straining it, and it's almost at stall speed. We're not even going to attempt it. These are one of the things you don't want to push your aircraft to do something that you know it's not going to do. It's safer just to go, either go around the mountain or go back and land and get on the plane. But you can see how bumpy it is once we get close to these hills, these mountains. I kind of like it with the engine noise off, because it's like you have your headphones on and you really can't hear, but you can hear the creak of the airframe. It's kind of eerie. Yeah, we can side climb until we get over it, but oh! Can we get through here? Yeah, here we go. Like I said, I can't wait till the Gliders DLC comes out, because can you imagine gliding from Jackson Hole all the way down to Salt Lake City? Oh, we can get through this valley, boys. That radio is not going to help, so if somebody could find another radio to get us there from here, I don't think it's going to help us any. Remember, this thing does not have autopilot at all. There's not you can't even turn the autopilot on. There's no such thing as autopilot in this plane. Mixture's full rich, though. That's it. Yeah, that would be cool too. Somebody could actually pilot the tow plane. So I'm still climbing here. This plane doesn't have a lot of ass to it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have a lot of power. I still don't know if we'll make it out of here. I might have an escape to the left if we can't make it up over this hill ridge line. See, this is the problem. This is a problem with flying piston engine aircraft in mountainous areas. Is that they don't, because of the density altitude, because you're starting off at such a high altitude. I mean, Jackson Hole is already at 7,000 feet. You know, this thing has a max service ceiling of 15,000 feet. You know, because you'll need oxygen after that. So, I mean, we're already starting. And that's what gets a lot of pilots in trouble, is flying into these passes in these valleys like this and not having an escape route. Because this has auto rudder and everything turned on, and if I had it set to realistic and we try to make a sharp turn like that, we either stall or we'd spin. And the last thing we're going to do is start spinning, because then we can't recover from it. We don't have enough time to recover. You know, we're going too slow. We can't nose over. By the time we nose over, we're into the side of a mountain. So, you know, these are things that kill pilots every single year, flying into these valleys with aircraft like this Cessna 152 and not being able to make it out of it. Oh no, we could probably make it. I mean, I've got 60 knots. I've got 60 knots. I'm already over this ridge line here. I mean, these are things as a pilot that you have to, you know, understand what your aircraft can do, what the conditions are. I'm already at almost 10,000 feet in this thing. 4,000 more feet, I'd be at service. But oh my God, would it be so fun to run it down. It'd be so damn fun to take a glider through here. The Bonanza has, well, so really what you want to fly around here, I mean the X Cub, you can fly the Cub around here. The Cub really doesn't have a lot of oomph either, not at this altitude. But so we made up over this ridge line, not by much. And we're now over 10,000 feet. Let me hit V and find out where this airport is. This airport's going to be right here, KTGI, and we're flying right for it. We're good to go. That's where we're going to land at. And we will end the stream there. So I just want to show you guys, you know, how this all would work even if we were flying VOR. I mean, we're good. I mean, we're good in a Cessna. It's just you got to be careful when you're flying in the mountains with an aircraft that doesn't have a lot of power. If these valleys, you know, didn't change altitude so much, we'd be okay. If we could fly straight, this valley right here, we could probably do good with because it's straight, but you had to climb over the mountain over there, ridge, to get to it. Like we could fly right down that valley right there, because it flies down, it comes over to the right, we'd be good. Oh, listen to that. You just hear the wind. Oh, it doesn't help us that our flaps aren't all the way up either. So, yeah, we'd have been better off had we just had the flaps up. I don't like flying helis. This is so much better without the damn engine noise. Just hear the wind rush past the plane. So here we are flying over the mountains of Jackson Hole in a Cessna 152. Amazing. I like these older aircraft a lot, you know, a lot better than some of the newer ones. And I'm completely hands off now. I'm not even, don't have my hand on the stick or anything like that. So you can see how the wind is buffeting the plane right now. You know, I don't have my hands on the stick, no hands on the throttle, nothing. This KTGI is up here somewhere. I'm thinking it's going to be right. I don't see the beacon for it, at least. There it is. Okay, we are 5 nautical miles away. Let's do this. Okay, we are 5 nautical miles away. We are at 10,000 feet. Theoretically, we should have 1,000 feet for 3 miles for every 1,000 feet that we're up in the air. So you know what that means, right? We're turning the engine off. We're going to see if we can do a dead stick landing. Alright, we are completely dead stick. We have no engine power. I don't know where the prop's still turning. Probably because of the airspeed. So we're going to do a dead stick landing in the Driggs. I don't know if it'll let you turn the engine off while you're in flight. So we don't have any power right now. The engine's off, mixers, throttle's full back. We have nothing. We have no power whatsoever. The only thing we have is the energy stored in our aircraft. And that will trade altitude for energy. And we want to be careful we won't get over 100 knots. There's our airfield dead ahead. Okay, so we're going to try to keep our altitude up because we're going to cross it midfield, make a left-hand turn, and we're going to bleed speed when we make these turns. So that's the problem. So we got to kind of plan for this. Now, do we want to cross it midfield? We're probably better off going ahead and not crossing midfield and making this left downwind and final onto the runway. So that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and make this. We'll do a left downwind turn and land. Hopefully land on the runway. We're at 7,000 feet now. That's about 1,000. We're about 1,500 feet up. So we're still flying around 65 knots. So we're good to go at 65 knots. We can fly at this speed. Any slower than this, we're going to start descending. Like I said, I don't think at this level, this assist, I think I have too many assists. I'm going to turn the assists off tomorrow because I don't think this assist level will actually let you turn the engine off. But, like I said, with throttles full back, mixers out, the engine should be off and the keys off. The only thing we could really do is turn the avionics off. Which this thing really doesn't have any avionics anyway, so. Let's go ahead and we'll make this turn. We're going to lose some speed. I don't want to do it, but we're going to do it anyways. There's the runway. Okay, we're completely dead stick, no power. I'm not going to use flaps because we're not going to bleed off that much speed. We're coming down, holding it off, holding it off. Still holding it off. And we're down. No bounce. Dead stick landing. Got the achievement. Got the achievement. Dead stick landing. So there we go, people. Our first dead stick landing. No engine power whatsoever. No bounce. No crash. Nobody died. So you can see if we can't roll down to find us an exit off this runway. So that, my friends, is how you complete a textbook dead stick landing. We're still coasting. I'm going to pick up speed going downhill. I wonder how that physics works. Still no power. We can start the engine back up, but I don't even see the prop. Did the prop just come off? What's up with that? The prop. Oh, the prop's horizontal. So I wish we had reviews. Like I wish you could back it up, you know, like on X-Plane. Thanks, Mikey. I tried my best. So we just completed the dead stick landing for a Cessna 152. Hooray, hooray. There's a little Cessna. Alright, so we did a lot of cool stuff today. We went over the VOR flying. Hopefully you guys get to try it out when you have time. VOR is probably the most fulfilling way to fly. It's really fun. You get to plan, you know, you can plan everything. You know, you fly here. Once you get this VOR station, you can find, you know, you can link all these VOR stations together and fly all the way across the country like that. You know, it's a really good way to learn your aircraft. It's a really good way to learn cross-country navigation, and it really makes you appreciate flying glass panels or anything with GPS, with navigation system and autopilot, because this plane doesn't have either. It doesn't have navigation. It doesn't have, you know, it doesn't have GPS and it doesn't have autopilot. So you have to completely. It's all hands on. All hands on deck, as they say. I think the Cessna 172 that's in the deluxe edition, the premium deluxe edition, has the Garmin 430 in it. So it does have a GPS in it, but it's not a full glass cockpit. It just has the 430, or the 530 and the 430. So the 530 is the big square one, and the 430 is the little rectangular GPS. So the 530 sits up top and the 430 sits on the bottom, below it. And then it has the nav radio panel like this one does. Actually, it's in the GPS stacks. But anyways, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to join Rudy's Discord. Somebody will put it in the chat. Probably everybody knows how to. Everybody probably watching or is probably already in the Discord community, anyways. So if you have any questions, post them in there, and we'll address them in our live streams. But other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow.